Hi, I'm Lynn Preston, and I'm appearing on Zach Valente's Self-Care Sunday show. And we'll be doing a focusing conversation with one of his patrons, Mitzrayim. And actually, this is a follow-up conversation from a previous session. But the technology isn't working, so you won't be able to hear my comments for the whole first part of this conversation. But it doesn't really matter, because what Mitzrayim says is the most important thing, and my comments don't really add much here. But you will hear what I have to say toward the end of it. So keep tuned.
Nice to see you too. I was really looking forward to, following up and talking again because like the last conversation really helped me to see, aspects of what I was struggling with and really kind of opened my eyes up to it more. And I think just got so much from that first conversation. So I'm really was looking forward to this. What really stayed with me was your advice on when I like start having those moments of conversing with that unknown part of myself to listen and not shut it down. And so I've been trying to do that more. And like there were moments where that really, really did help, where I really did just like listened and didn't just immediately respond in like a close off disassociating way. After that phone call ended, that unknown part of myself started saying things like, this is our mother, like this, like we are so kind of like out there in the ocean. We don't even have our own mother for life support. Like we can't even count on her to help us. Like, don't you think that's pathetic? And instead of like fighting that, I did accept like, yeah, that is true. We can't count on the person who by nature we're meant to count on, but that then I said, to that part of myself that that's not a bad mark upon me. It's more of a mark upon her. And that was like the first time I really thought of it that way, where before I did have this shame and this feeling that, with her being not a good parent, that somehow was like a negative of me. Like more than anything, I think we're like also where we share this in common. I think we just want to be able to know that we can count on someone and just like have someone there where it's like we know for sure if they're there, everything will be okay. Because we don't have that really. Like my grandma passed, I haven't really had that thing where I know that person's there. I think that we just both kind of like feel this pain of knowing or feeling that we don't really have anyone we can really lean on in like a real way. And it's like we both go through the motions of day to day, trudging through it, the stress and anxiety. And it's like just trying on our own to just try to make things work and make things work for us. And the only way we know how, because there's no one else going to help us do it.
Is there an image for that? That's something missing, that core primary, being able to rely on somebody, that core primary connectedness missing? Is there an image that comes to mind, or a way that you see that?
But basically, every time I think of it, I just see my grandmother because
Mm-hmm.
she was like that person. Like I knew when
Mm.
she was alive, I was like, no matter what mistakes I make or whatever goes wrong, I know 100% that
Mm.
she's gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah,
Like no
yeah,
matter what mistakes I make, no matter what I struggle through, she'll
yeah.
be there to help me in any way that she can.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when she left, I just don't feel like I have that. Like
yeah. Mitzrayim,
I
I
just kind of
could
feel like I'm
really
just
feel
somewhere.
that. That when you say that about your grandma. I could really feel her presence and that sense that she was really there. She really cared. You could count on her. The feeling of that warmth and support and reliability. I could feel it right here with us as we're speaking. That spirit of her right there. Could you feel her too?
Yeah.
Almost like she's here with us in some way. It's like that's
I
what
like to
you
think
need.
so. It just gets really hard because it's like she's been gone now for so long, and yet still it's like I feel this void in my life. I feel like I'm out to sea without anything.
Yeah.
And then I'm just trying to stay afloat the best I can.
Yes. I get that her spirit, you could feel her spirit here, and there's this big void, and it's been so long, and almost like she's been gone too long and she needs to come back. You know? And you've been holding out so long, and you need some support. Right? Yeah. Let's just be with all of that together for a minute. This predicament, this place of being alone and disappointed. And there's also an anger and a protest there. Here's you and I, in this moment maybe, you and I can just stand back and say, here's Mitzrayim. She's out here on the sea by herself, and there's no grandma in person, maybe her spirit, right, but not body. Send that Mitzrayim some support and energy, sort of seeing her in this predicament, seeing her struggling with this, seeing her in grief and in protest, and we're just being with her for a minute, just keeping her company for a minute in this. Right, she needs that company. She needs that compassion. She needs that understanding. She's facing a lot there. What does that feel like?
It feels a little comforting to just think about it and sit there, but I keep hoping for some outside person to come in and hold my hand and make me feel better.
Absolutely. And you need an outside person. It's not enough. Right? It's not enough.
Yeah.
It's very important to have yourself, but it's not enough. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to suggest someone that you'll be talking to and you can continue this conversation with. That would be an outside person, and of course I feel like I'm very connected to you too, and really holding that with you. It's a place of needing this outside person to come in, and it's a little comforting to be with yourself, but you need a lot more than that.
Yeah. I just feel like I just need a person to just like, I don't know, like someone to just like, yeah, basically just take me by the hand and let me know everything will be okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's so beautifully said. You need somebody to come and take you by the hand and say everything is going to be okay.
Well, it has been a real pleasure for me to share Lynn with all of you. Apologies again for the technical difficulties, but we'll be back next month.
Okay.
For another
I'm
focusing
looking forward
conversation.
to it.
Yeah, me too.
Bye-bye
All right.
now.
Bye-bye.